I would like to bring Dr. Olantunji Sobodu to start his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Over to you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me appreciate the, BSN management team for inviting me. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you some of my thoughts on the subject matter this morning. And I thank Annette especially for, throwing up the, the topic. It's a topic that I'm passionate about. Leadership is also about winning hearts. Leadership is also about winning hearts. That's what I'll be speaking to this evening. And it's actually, I believe, a pretty simple concept, if you like, pretty simple in the sense that it's also fairly intuitively appealing, in my view. And you would soon see the reason why. I think is every one of us can appreciate the fact that, leadership is about people. And inherent in leadership as a basic concept is that there is an underlying relationship between a leader and his people. All right. Leadership is a relationship because you are not just leading an organization, it's leading people within the organization. It isn't just leading an obscure entity. A leader who understands what his or her calling is, understands that, he or she is leading people. I often also emphasize that even when a leader leads a team, a leader must understand that every member of the team is an individual uniquely endowed, with unique perspectives. And so a leader needs to maintain a relationship, a one-on-one relationship with every member, even while dealing within the context of a team. So the first thing is to understand that leadership is not just about chasing the numbers. It's not just about, focusing on organizational goals. It begins with the people. You are only a leader because people are looking up to you, because people, have been given to you to collaborate with you, to help you to achieve some goal or the other. And indeed, the first goal of any leader, in my view, is the transformation that a leader brings to bear on the people. Is the transformation that you bring to bear on the people, is the value that you add to the people. One of the tricky elements with leadership is that it is possible for you to achieve goals, those lofty goals, those organizational goals that we often focus on, without developing the people. In which case, such a leader would be using the people in quotes instead of, working with the people in the process, developing the people such that you achieve those overall goals by first impacting the people, or if you like, impacting the people as you seek to achieve those overall goals. In my view, that is true leadership in the context of how the BSN looks at leadership. That is responsible leadership. There is a dimension there that is also change leadership, because there is a transformation in behavior, there is a transformation in heart condition, so the key elements, in fact, in the process also is a transformation in skills, because leaders also help to build, skills. There is change leadership inherent. The 4 dimensions that, the BSN emphasizes in leadership is embodied and, encompassed in the approach that seeks to achieve a transformation, in the people, in the quest for attainment of larger group objectives or organization objectives, as the case may be. Now, because leadership is about people, because it's a relationship between a leader and his or her people, because the leader needs the support, collaboration, cooperation, and the commitment of his or her people, all right, the leader needs to earn it. The leader needs to earn it. In my view, one of the greatest, challenges that a leader faces is securing the commitment of the people. Securing the commitment of the people. You want your people to believe in you. If they don't believe in you, they can't trust you. If they don't trust you, they can't show you respect. And once the strong commitment is not there, the belief, the trust is not there, as with any relationship, the leader can't do much. The leader cannot do much. The leader is only as effective, as the team is willing to commit to the leader. Because commitment, faith, belief in the leader drives, strengthens their commitments, makes them to make available, themselves in reality to support the accomplishment of the leader's goals. And I often say also, as you would see, in the next slide, that when a leader has earned the faith or the trust, of the people, what happens is that the people effectively have licensed you to influence them. They have opened themselves up to embrace what you have, for them. And with that license, you are empowered to transform them, and that includes adding value to them. But in order for people to license you, they need to believe in you. In order for them to believe, to win their hearts, you need to win their hearts. Leaders, a leader must never assume that the team members will commit. All right? You have to give them reason why they should commit. You have to win their hearts. You have to earn that trust. It is not given. And it takes a bit of time. Maybe one should mention here also something that I regard as some kind of fad, when we talk leadership, and people often say, well, leadership is not about titles, leaders don't, wield their authority and all of that. And my response is, look, if you're working with a team, if you're working with people who don't know you, it takes time to build trust. It takes time to earn their faith in you. Within that period, while you are working to build the trust, they must cooperate with you, failing which, you can't achieve much. And that's why your authority, can become relevant, because in the process, if people prove difficult, then, somebody still takes on the responsibility. Somebody still calls the shots. And using your authority doesn't mean, becoming a nuisance or becoming wicked, in quotes, or unreasonable. There's a way to use it also, purpose for which it has been given, while you are trying to build the people's faith and trust in you. And so that's where and then let me mention also, once you have this kind of relationships are driven not by logic, they are driven by emotion. Why? Because the people involved, the leader is an emotional being, the people are emotional beings, and you have to appeal to their emotions, if you want to secure their commitment to you. So again, from that perspective, we can understand the need to appeal, to win their hearts, because emotion is a heart-seated, feeling. Emotion is a heart-seated feeling. I love to look at leadership concepts, from my biblical background, what I refer to as the source of truth. And in the first slide, there was a statement there, follow me and I will make you. I'm sure many of us might be able to relate to that. Say, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. So you want the people to follow you. Follow there connotes the fact that you are leading the team. That's the responsibility that you have had. But inherent in that statement also, you are answering a question. What's in it for them? Say, follow me. You're not just saying, follow me, and I will make you. So there is responsibility that you are calling, the people to observe. And there is a promise. I call it the leadership promise. Make you. So and the leader in that case is not emphasizing what his own ultimate objective may be, is emphasizing the fact that, the people represent the primary focus. So you give the people a reason to expect something good from you, to expect a clear benefit from you, to appreciate the kind of value that you're positioning to add to them. And then the wisest man, as we often acknowledge, Solomon, to be precise, made a statement that contains a very vital secret. Said he made the statement, he said, my son, give me your heart. Now, that's the most valuable asset that any man, any person has, your heart. That's the engine room of each person. That's what determines your character. It defines the person. And here is the leader asking, give me your heart, meaning that the leader recognizes that the heart is crucial. It's the faith, belief in the leader comes from the heart. And you're asking for something that is so important, but it's not just easily given. It has to be won. And in order to win it, you must show value. You must put yourself out there saying, this is what I have to offer. You must be believable. And I'm going to try and just wrap up this very short exposition by saying, how do you do that? How do you do that? One of the most powerful instrument for winning the faith of the people in the leader are the words of the leader, are the words of the leader. Now, not just the quality of the effectiveness of communication, I would add that perhaps more important is the content of what is communicated. But a leader must recognize that communication is vital. Communication is what the heart receives. Words are what the heart responds to. You want to influence anybody, you do so by words. Again, we often say, lead by example, lead by example. I said we need to be cautious when we say lead by example. I don't want somebody to observe the way I conduct my activities, how I think, how I make decisions, and to follow me without understanding why I handle a situation in a particular manner. And that tells us, therefore, that it's important to teach, to explain, to coach, all right? That's what makes your example meaningful. That's what makes your example useful, all right? If you are just waiting for people to observe your conduct and therefore to get excited by it, you may be creating and having an effect on people that you never really even intended. And that effect may not be the platform or the channel for adding value to them. So words are powerful, and leaders must use them intentionally to convey who they are, to convey what promise or value they are bringing to the table, to teach the people, all right, to generally regulate that relationship. Words affect and influence lives. Words build faith that is required in the hearts of people. They reveal the identity of the leader. People respond to the words that they hear. And I'm sure every one of us can relate to that. I would argue that each one of us here is who we are today because of who we have paid attention to, because of whose words we have embraced and we have been convinced enough to believe. And therefore, once you believe in certain words, which could be principles, which could be beliefs, which could be communication of values, once you embrace them, that's what you begin to live by. That's what you begin to live by. So who you are is essentially the product of the leaders you have listened to, whose messages have made sense to you, whose messages you have chosen to embrace. And words can be used in 4 distinct ways: to instruct, to teach, to correct, and to discipline, which is to enforce. A leader who is careless with words can't win hearts, can't influence the people. And I would close by saying here another statement, that is shown on the slide, when Jesus said, "My sheep hear my voice and they follow me." They hear my voice and they follow me. They hear my voice and they follow me. A quiet leader is an ineffective leader, because you are not planting any seeds in the hearts of the people. If you don't plant seeds in the hearts of the people, you can't win them. They can't respond to you. And if the people can't strongly commit to you, it's difficult to be effective. You won't be able to deliver your mandate. You won't be able to add value to the people. And as long as you are not adding the value to the people, it doesn't matter what other objectives or goals you accomplish, one will be regarded as a failure as a leader. Once again, thank you very much. I hope I haven't taken more time than I was allotted, but I guess I can come back to say 1 or 2 more things as I have the opportunity later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sobodu, for a very solid presentation on how we can win hearts as leaders. We now call on Mr. Oluwole Dada, who is going to talk for a few minutes on reflecting on this same topic. Over to you, Mr. Oluwole Dada. And thereafter, there'll be question and answer session. So, Mr. Oluwole Dada, over to you. Can you unmute Mr. Oluwole Dada and speak? Wow.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you speak up.
Great. I said, what an insightful presentation from Dr. Olantunji. And I'd like to add on some of the things he has said. First is to understand that people are not tools to achieve our objectives. People are great assets. And in organizations, we know how we treat assets. we nurture them because we want them to grow. We want those assets to deliver to us. So the first thing we need to realize is that people are not tools, they are assets, and they need to be nurtured. In order to nurture them, you need to gain their trust. Secondly, people are not creatures of logic. Dr. Olantunji mentioned that, and I like to emphasize that. People are creatures of emotions. Many times we deal with them because we think they are logical in their reasoning. Emotional beings are not, they don't treat issues on a logical basis. And that is why winning their heart, it's also critical. He mentioned as well that two tools that we can use to win the hearts of people: our words and our actions. In other words, our examples. Our words can either make or mar the people that we lead. What do we say to them? Do we say words that will demean them? Do we say words that will make them feel useless? Do we say words that will build them? Do we say words that will make them motivated? You cannot get the best from people who are demotivated. Hence, you need to say words that will motivate them. You need to say words that will influence them. You need to say words that will make them feel happy. And people cannot give their best when they are not excited. No matter the kind of results you are getting from people today, if they are giving it to you in their non-excited form, then you are not operating at optimum. So in order to lead people, gain their trust, you need right words, and then you need to act well. We lead people effectively through our actions. You can only gain their trust through the right actions. You don't expect people to do something and you are doing something else. These are tools that can help to gain the trust of people. These are tools that can help to win the hearts of people. I want to repeat for emphasis: the right words and the right actions. These were said principally by Dr. Olantunji, and they are worth emphasizing. We need to take away from this session that going forward, we will speak right words to our team members. Going forward, we will lead them with the right action. We will do the things that we want them to do. We will not do something else and expect them to do another thing. To lead people, they need to trust you. For them to trust you, you need to win their heart. And lastly, he mentioned something very significant, which can also be done through the words and your actions. You need to bond with your team members. You need a good relationship with people so as to get the best from them. You cannot be far away from people that you want to lead. One great statement said, you need to be close enough to your people to motivate them. And you need to know more than them so as to inspire them. The people that you will lead effectively, they need a good relationship with you. Thank you one more time for this opportunity to be a blessing to people.
Thank you, Mr. Oluwalidada, for a very beautiful reflection that summarizes what Tunji Sobodu had already presented. We will now go into short session of question and answer. We will appreciate if you have your questions to put it in the chat room, just to be able to accommodate as many questions as possible. And if you have any specific contribution, let us also know. We would get you in. So can we have some questions from the audience? One of the first questions that I would like Dr. Sobodu to handle is that winning the heart is critical, and that's the function of leaders most times. At what point do you make use of authority when winning hearts have been the focus and it appears as if people are still not moving in the direction because people do not move at the same speed? Over to you, Dr. Sobodu.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, sir. All right, I believe that when you would find different categories of people typically. Of course, when you people, who tend to be rebellious, you have to wield the authority. There can only be one captain on the ship, and you use your authority to compel people to play the role expected of them while you are working on building their confidence in you. And in the use of your authority as well, you are explaining why you are having to resort to the use of your authority. You're explaining, that the use of authority is also taking responsibility, okay? Because you are also responsible to some leaders, and they are not going to listen to excuses that your people are not submitting to you, okay? So it's important that you allow. There is a concept that is very important, by the way, that I should mention, and that's, I call it forbearance. Forbearance from a leader is showing understanding that your people are in the process of being developed. And when we're in the process of being developed, we will make mistakes, all right? We will not come across, we will drop the ball. Now, you don't breathe hard on your people because they're dropping the ball, because you once dropped the ball in the process of becoming who you are, all right? So you show understanding, and that helps to encourage the people. That helps to show that you also have a heart. By the way, you can't win the heart of your people, the hearts of your people, without leading from the heart. One of the ways you lead from the heart is to exercise forbearance. Another thing you need to do is to, ensure that you create an environment of fairness, equity, justice, that everybody is treated, the same. And by saying that, I mean everybody has an opportunity to benefit maximally to the extent that they want under your leadership. So that's what I would say. But I would say that typically, I mean, a leader may require as long as 6 months, possibly even 1 year, to be able to earn the trust. The people need to trust you. They collaborate with you, but you can't be sure certainly you are not getting the best of anybody. They may be working with you until they get to the point where they have implicit trust in you. You are not getting the best. When you earn that trust, you see them come alive in ways that you never even imagined. Because as the reflector said, now they are motivated, they feel trusted, and they know that they can afford, they are allowed to make mistakes, sincere mistakes, not, mischievous stuff as some people may resort to doing. Let me stop there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a number of questions. Can we unmute Ahmed EMET so that he would like to speak? I saw his hand up. Ahmed EMET.
Yes, hi, thank you. Hi, I'm Ahmed from Bangladesh. I'm running one water company and a solar company. I'm a shareholder there. So the recent observation from my company is like the huge turnover due to the unstable situation and the financial crisis. It is very difficult to pay people on time, And we are also getting the payments from our clients not on time because the projects are delayed. Many challenges are there, and banks are not also supporting. So it is becoming very difficult for us to keep our workers and to motivate them, because the biggest motivation is the salary end of the day, and we have to pay them on time. So due to this crisis situation, we are struggling to keep our people. What would be the alternate to this to motivate people for the long time, especially during the crisis situation? Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Sobodu,
Okay.
because we need to wrap up in the next 5 minutes, just answer in a very brief form because there are other questions coming. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. One of the most important things I think you need to do in a situation like that, let me just, mention two. One is that you need to communicate what is going on. The people must know what is going on. Second, the people must know that within that environment, of that tight environment, that the leaders are also making sacrifices. It must be clear to the people that you are making sacrifices. The leaders have to introspect and be sure that they are not making the people suffer while giving the excuse that things are hard, and they're not living a life that is inconsistent or that is at variance with the economic environment. That way, you signal to the people, credibility. And those who can afford to support you will, but the leader must also be prepared that some people, because of their particular, economic situations, they may just have to look elsewhere. And that will be fine. What you owe them is to be upfront with them, to be sincere, to be truthful in that kind of situation.
Thank you so much. We just have 1 to 2 minutes to answer the next question, and that is there's one Ruimbo Doka who would like you to advise the 5 kinds of people you mentioned. You mentioned that number 1, rebellious people, so you wanted to know the other 4.
Okay, you have rebellious people, you have people who have a sense of entitlement. All right, you have people who are nonchalant. You have people who are influenced by other members of the team. And you have people who are expecting that following a leader is a walk in the park. They just think that things will fall into place. They are not prepared for the challenge, because it can be challenging following a leader. It can be challenging. And some of them, when you face certain challenges, maybe even like the kind of scenario that, Ahmed just described, they quickly get offended. They quickly lose, faith, because they were expecting everything to just fall into place. But that's not how following works. That's not, the nature of the leader-follower relationship.
Thank you so much. We have come to the end of today's program. So, Olantunji Sobodu, for a very, very deep insight into leadership. Is also about winning hearts. The need for leaders to connect the head, the heart, and the hands. It's in connecting with the heart that the hands is able to do what we want it to do. And your presentation today has deepened the understanding of people concerning leadership. We want to say a very big thank you to you. We also like to thank the reflector for today, Oluwole Dada, who is working in a very peculiar and leading industry, Secure ID, for his reflection, for emphasizing and highlighting major points that the speaker had spoken today. The two things two of you have done today has really helped the BSN community in moving forward on leadership. And we look forward to more contributions from you and many others as we continue this culture of Good Morning BSN. I would like to draw this session to a close and to thank everybody for showing up today. Always remember that we start by 8 a.m. Dutch time, Netherlands time. See, but locations like Nigeria, South Africa, it's 8 a.m. So, so please put all this into consideration. For next week, we'll be talking around the importance of cybersecurity in our organization. I would like the people who are in attendance today to tell more people to share this concept of topic. We'll also be sharing electronically, and we will be expecting all to be in a position to come early, sign in on time. Always remember, it is 8 a.m. Dutch time, 7 a.m. Nigerian time, and to be able to get more friends and more people can benefit from next week's topic to be here on time by 7:15. Thank you so much. God bless you all.